What is going on? Why is everyone canceling their F-35 orders all over the world? Is it because they're idiots? They don't like having awesome planes? Well, maybe there's a little bit more than that. Folks, as always, welcome to the Modern Survivalist channel. If you want to be prepared for the crazy, crazy world in which we are, I honestly recommend you subscribe to the channel, watch several videos, leave your comments and questions below, and of course, get my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse, which is very important, and Street Survival Skills. Someone was asking, oh, I need a survival manual for when the invaders in my country, this or that. Well, that's what you want these books for, especially this one, in terms of keeping yourself, your family safe from violence on the streets, social violence, crazy people from whatever political alignment they may be and whatnot. All of that is covered to a lot of an extent in those books. Guys, why is it? Well, let's see. 3 reasons Canada and Portugal may cancel orders of US-made fighters. Well, you don't have to be a wizard to understand that, but let's go to this little clip right here. I think it's gonna summarize things nicely for us.
I think fascinating because it's not just Canada, right? Some other countries are also reviewing their contracts to buy these very expensive fighter jets from the U.S. over trade concerns. What do we know so far about Canada?
Yeah, it's fascinating and an unprecedented situation. The US and Canada are the only countries in the world to share a binational military command in NORAD, which defends the continent's airspace. So for them to review this contract after it's all signed is really quite stunning. And it was one of the first actions that Mark Carney took after taking office on Friday, within hours.
And this is something that's been talked about for the last few days now, the idea of F-35s
The
having
shift
a
in
kill
U.S.
switch.
security policy not only has allies in Europe scrambling to increase their defense spending, it also raises uncomfortable questions about their dependency on American weapons already in their arsenal. One example is the F-35 fighter jet made by American aerospace giant Lockheed Martin. Several prominent voices linked to the defense establishment in Europe have suggested the U.S. has built so-called kill switches into the aircraft.
Yeah. Does it have, probably, why wouldn't it have some sort of kill switch in case you find yourself facing the same weapon you made? Yeah, I see it, but it's not even about that. Look, I think that the best example, instead of going about theories, is what's happening in Ukraine with the F-16, right? The F-16, still very much a very nice plane. Argentina bought a bunch of these planes at 12 million per unit. So yeah, used, but still nice plane. But this is the thing. If you buy these things, right, and you don't have the support, they don't even, that's the kill switch, right? So it may well be that the F-35 has a kill switch in which they just drop it out of the air, right? But it's beyond that. It's this sort of thing why people, the countries buying it, are like reconsidering it. Ukraine's F-16 fleet is at risk from Trump. Can Europe replace it? The idea of you not getting parts anymore to keep these things in the air. It's not like it's not some Honda, right, that will keep on running for 10 years, just putting gas in it. It's not the case. These advanced planes, these jet fighters, they require constant maintenance and spare parts and support, especially with the F-35, which, the thing that makes it a 5th gen is its technological electronic warfare kind of thing, which depends directly on that support. So it is completely understandable that you may go like, okay, no, why would I buy these things? I mean, it makes no sense. I am seeing how you're leaving the planes grounded when Ukraine fights Russia. What gives me any peace of mind that it would not happen if I find myself in that same situation, if I find myself fighting against Russia hostility? And all of a sudden, but you actually provoked those poor Russians, you asshole. We're not giving you any more support for the F-35. You will be an idiot to keep buying F-35s right now. And the F-35 works great for the United States. Fucking awesome. 5th gen jet, everything you want. But the Saab Gripen that you have in the air in a 4.5 generation version is better than the 5th generation that you cannot even have in the air flying because it was, they activated a kill switch, or they're not giving you the support anymore. There is this thing, and this is all in the air right now. This is a lot of money. This is a shit ton of money. Germany just said that they will still go on with the ones that they bought. Will they get more? We don't know. Germany is going in an insane spending spree right now. Germany is going back into what Germany was always supposed to be, and for whatever reasons they wanted to, not be what Germany is capable of being, right? In terms of their military, it's in their military potential. Let's put it that way. But it could also be that because Germany wants to spend so much so fast, they are still willing to go ahead with some of those F-35 that they already have bought, and have that just roll the dice and just expect U.S. to live up to their part, or maybe have some kind of Israeli agreement by which they keep these planes, but with some kind of autonomy on their end, which is what, if Israel requires that from you, why the hell would not Germany? Israel doesn't want to rely on U.S. support for the planes they're getting pretty much for free. The United States is giving Israel free F-35s, and the Israelis go, I will only accept your free F-35 if I have full control of its software and the capabilities of it beyond my own control. Everyone buying an F-35 should do that, and honestly, there is a lot more of a case for buy local. Everyone should buy local. Canada is now going with the Gripen apparently instead of the F-35. Oh, but the Gripen is worse. Is it really? Especially if you look at the similarities in terms of territory, Canada, Sweden, the idea of these planes being able to take off from a just freaking road on a small town, especially the environmental, the Arctic war conditions that these planes have been designed around. I think it makes sense, but you know what ends the discussion is, dude, you are talking about a country that is saying that it's going to be invading you and conquering you. You're being annexed by the United States right now. No, you should not buy an F-35 from the United States when the United States is actually saying time and time and again that you will be annexed. You will not have the support if you find yourself in that position. So, and it goes into politics. It goes into the economy of what a plane is cheaper to actually fly. That's going to be the Gripen rather than the F-35, of course. So, what do I even need a fifth generation plane? Argentina bought a 24 F-16s. Fourth generation plane. Great for that kind of territory and extension. You're not going to get an F-35 in Argentina with UK right there on your little island. You're not going to get that because, well, maybe these days you can, right? Argentina has lots of other problems. But the point is, you can have an fourth generation plane that does a bunch of things that you definitely need, far more than having the latest stealth plane flying around. Especially if you're not planning on going to war with anyone with other fifth generations of their own. For that sort of thing, go with the F-16. In the case of Canada, what is it? You're going to prepare for war, Canada versus the United States? As hostile as politically things are, I don't see it happening. No one sees it happening. Still, you have to react in some way when you're being threatened with annexation every single day, right? The thing you do is, voila, there you go. You don't buy the F-35, you buy the Saab Gripen, and you even get a deal so as to have these things locally produced as well and cheaper to fly so as to have it in the air without going bankrupt every single time. Just the way things are, guys. It's a crazy. I like the Gripen. The Gripen is pretty interesting, fascinating. The way in which they make these things is so much cheaper and simple in other ways. It hasn't got for example, in the Ukrainians like the F-16 when they were able, when they had the support from U.S. to use it. It was quite successful. It's actually one of the most successful combat jets that you have right now, still being produced for the external market, I believe. But great plane. But only if it can fly. If it cannot fly, you might as well have a damn kite with a hammer hanging over there and see if you hit something. If it will not fly and you don't have the support from the U.S. to keep those things operational, there's no point in any of this. Go with something that you can count, right? And I think that's going to be the case for for Portugal, for many European countries, these orders, I will assume that lots of these will go through, but don't expect any more. This is going to be it. That is a giant impact on the U.S. economy. The way in which Trump had been insisting on NATO allies need to spend more, it was always with the idea of NATO allies need to spend more buying from us, right? That was basically it. That was the main reason why. So, I want you guys to be safe. No, I want you guys to buy more planes, right? I want you guys to buy more from us. And given how it has gone way beyond the point of reasonable in terms of you just can count on U.S. doing this anymore. And it's something that has also been said. Like, you cannot count on U.S. for your defense. Okay, if I cannot count on the U.S. for defense, why the fuck would I buy your plane? Well, because we will still support you, but kind of like, I don't know, just buy it. But what about what happened with the Ukrainians? They have the F-16s and you're not giving the support to us who... So what's stopping that from happening again to me? No, I'm not buying these things. I'm going to be ramping up my own economy, my own production. And I think it's great. I think it's America first, Canada first, Europe first. I think everyone should go back into looking after yourself, less involved in other people's business, and descaling the globalized thing in which we found ourselves in, which I think that we can all agree was only negative. Nothing positive came out of that. So everyone looking after themselves, everyone doing business with whoever they feel is best, and that's it. That's the way it should go. So there's always, when things shuffle and realign, sometimes it's for the better. Guys, see you on our next video. Take care.